What's up, inspiring gamers? I haven't got much time on gaming recently, so instead of making videos on rules for life from video game stories, which can take too many hours obsessing on one video game, I decided to start a new stream of content that are more general and relatable to any gamer's self-help need, not limiting to any video game stories, so that I can keep expressing my thoughts without spending too much time on studying video game characters. For a long time, I was inflicted with a feeling of being lost in life, not knowing what to do with my life. So in this video, I'll share my advice on what to do when you're feeling lost. Discover your calling. It's fascinating how a good video game story can capture gamers right from the start to the end. It makes us immersed in the game, as if we were living the life of the character. The one thing that all legendary heroes share is that they are so certain of their calling. When you play as the character, you know why he's fighting, what he's fighting for. Every quest you complete is fulfilling some kind of meaning in the story. Don't forget, we are also the main character of our own story. It's such a waste of life to live in fear, to spend so much time and energy leveling up in a fantasy world, but not even bothering to discover what we really want in real life. Most gamers end up living to please others' expectation and become who others think they should become, because they never took the effort to discover their why, their mission in life. Nietzsche wrote, "He who has a why to live for can bear almost anyhow." Finding your calling doesn't mean you must quit your job, but start embracing your gift and focus on the things you do best. Take action to become the change you wish to see most in the world. Practice decisiveness. One of my major personal weaknesses is indecisiveness. For over 30 years of my life, I had wandered in hesitancy and tend to overthink things before any decisions, ranging from a small purchase to a life-changing career move. However, no one is born with confidence and decisiveness. I understood they are a quality that must be gained through repeated practice. Start small, from deciding which game is worth your precious time purchasing and playing, and which one are just dopamine-inducing junk to avoid. By becoming more aware of our daily choices, we can learn to make bigger and better decisions when it comes to choosing what brings us the most benefit and value in life. Perhaps one of the most useful advice related to decisiveness I learned is the Death Ground strategy from the 33 Strategies of War. We often feel lost in our actions because we have too many options. Our freedom can be a burden when we are indecisive by nature. Necessity is the key to cure indecisiveness. We change our behaviors only if we have to. Start creating a sense of urgency and pressure in our daily task. Give yourself tighter deadline and act before you think you're ready, so there is no more time to worry or overthink. Take risk and give it all you've got in overcoming any challenge. The surge of energy will push our mind into decisive action mode. Believe in yourself. In most cases, the condition of being lost could be traced back to a lack of courage and negative self-image. The first step to overcome fear and self-doubt is to believe all things are possible if you believe. For years, I allowed self-doubt, insecurity, and a deep sense of lack to drain my energy and confidence. Fortunately, I was able to accept my weakness and my own unique talents that might seem impractical or even worthless to others, and realize that it is my calling to keep using the power of positive words and practical philosophy as a self-therapeutic tool to constantly remind my weak self on how to live a better life and share it on the internet. I believe as gamers of life, we are all spiritual beings having a temporary human game, and we must listen to our inner desires that urge us to manifest our uniqueness in the world. True desire is not to have, but to be. And to be the best self needs a great deal of faith. To have faith is to expect more out of life. We don't receive what we want, we don't receive what we pray for, but we always receive what we actually expect. So stop thinking small and being content with achieving so little, and start believing that you can and will succeed in great things. Become so good, they can't ignore you. Most of us make judgments of what we are capable of doing right now based on our past experiences. Every success in the past is evidence that we are capable of winning. For gamers who are deeply addicted to video games and are lost in real life, they don't have any achievements and successful reference in life that builds their self-esteem. As a former video game addict, I need to affirm that we are not our past. Our life should not be defined by past traumas and failures. They should not be used as an excuse for not taking the right action in this moment. Start with now, with what you have. Be grateful for whatever small talent and boring job that you have. Use the power of focus and deliberate practice to become so good that they can't ignore you. Following your passion might not be the best advice, as it focuses on our selfish concern about whether our job is the perfect calling that we truly love. Even if you happen to be blessed with a sense of purpose and passion, you better be committed to mastering your craft through disciplined practice and finding ways to meaningfully create value in the world. The purpose of life is to find our gift and give it away. We can only find joy and fulfillment in growth and contribution. The way of the samurai applies to all fields. To have a sense of community feeling and social service is of the highest virtue. As I shared in my Ghost of Tsushima video, think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world was one of Musashi's precepts in Dokoro. The secret to becoming so good they can't ignore you could be summarized by Musashi's quote, 1,000 days of training to forge, 10,000 days of training to refine. Do the next most necessary thing. In the book 4,000 Weeks by Oliver Berkman, he shared the idea of doing the next most necessary thing written by Carl Jung in his letter responding to the questions on the proper conduct of life. His answer is a good one to end this video with. Jung wrote, "Dear Frau, your questions are unanswerable because you want to know how to live. One lives as one can. There is no single, definite way. The individual path is the way you make for yourself, which is never prescribed, which you do not know in advance, and which simply comes into being itself when you put one foot in front of the other." His sole advice for walking such a path was to quietly do the next and most necessary thing, so long as you think you don't yet know what that is. You still have too much money to spend in useless speculation, but if you do with conviction the next and most necessary thing, you're always doing something meaningful and intended by fate. Jung's advice really resonated with me. I have no idea what the future will hold, but I know deep down I shouldn't value comfort and security. I cannot allow the illusion of security to drain my creativity. I have to keep taking risks in my publishing adventure every hour outside of my 48 hours work week. Because self-expression and leaving a voice that stands the test of time is what I find the most meaningful. Thanks for watching. Hope you find this video helpful. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, smash that like button, and share my content to like-minded gamers. See you in the next video.